Hi everybody, I'm doing this vlog in response to one that I saw a while back on cyber dating from Davey Wavey, and I thought that I would have a response to it because I've been thinking about it for a while, and I thought, well, I've had these experiences. When I first saw that vlog, I didn't really know what the term was, but when I saw what he had to say, I realized that, well, that's just exactly what I've been doing for a number of years through internet, and so I wanted to share what I had to say about it. I live in a really small town, and so meeting people is not really very easy. It's not any easier because I'm gay either, and so I think that meeting people through the internet is really a good way to be able to meet a variety of people from all over. And you can set your limits about where you want to meet those people. It can be people that are living in a nearby community or the same state that you're in, or it can be people that are in another country if you wanted to. It really doesn't matter. It's just up to the limits of what you want to do. You can meet people through a lot of different ways. It's late here. You can meet people through a lot of different ways. I think you can meet them through, a little more traditionally, is through chat sites. I mean, that tends to be a real easy way to be able to meet people. And I mean, there are all kinds of chat room type sites out there where you can meet a lot of very interesting people, and you can invest as much or as little time as you want to in getting to know them. You can also try out personal sites as well, and I mean, there are all kinds of different personal sites that you can use, that you can put out a profile about who you are and people will respond to you. And then there are other sites out there that kind of combine a little bit of both of those things together. So, those social networking type sites, and those are really pretty good options as well. I think that for me, chat room sites tend to work out a lot better just because I tend to be able to meet more people that way. And I think that if you're going to have a site profile, for example, you want to put a picture in it. Don't just leave a site with just words, because that doesn't attract out that many people. But put a picture in there, and find a good picture. Don't just put any picture in there. I think it's also important that if you're going to be on these sites and you're trying to meet people, be honest about who you are. I mean, just like you would want to be, I hope, in real life, the same thing. I think it's going to be important that you're that way when you're on a chat room. I mean, sometimes our idea is to put up this facade about who we are, and that's not always honest, and that's really going to come out in the end, and some people are going to be pretty offended by it. And plus, I mean, it's something that happens. I mean, you just have to be aware that some people are not going to be real honest about who they are. So, I mean, you have to use caution, I think, when you're out there on these sites. But once you do it, use your intuition to figure out what it is that the other person is about. I mean, you're going to get enough clues over time to be able to tell whether they're on the up and up or whether they're just pulling your leg. So I think that's pretty important. There's a lot of different ways to be able to share your life a little bit with that person when you're online with them. You can get out there on a lot of different sites and share a cyber date with that person. You don't have to be just only stuck in the chat room doing messenger things with them, but you can do all kinds of different things. I mean, some of those chat room sites, for example, the messenger services, they'll have games that you can play with that person, and so that makes it kind of fun. You can go to different sites online. You could still be doing messenger, but you could, or one of the messenger services, but you can go onto other sites. You could go to a museum site if you wanted to, or you can go to share video clips with one another, and you can share your favorite music videos with that person, and they can do the reverse. That just makes it a little bit more interactive and makes it a little bit more fun. You get to learn a little bit more about that person, and I think that makes it just a lot more of a real experience, because that's what relationships are about, is about having shared experiences, and so that's a good way to be able to build them. You can also use a lot more of the more traditional ways to be able to communicate with a person, like using email, for example, and sending pictures of yourself or places that you go, and you can share that. I mean, I've been on a couple of trips lately, and I've been able to take a lot of pictures and then send them to my boyfriend, and even though he lives in another country, I can still share where I'm going, and he can still experience a little bit about what that place is about. Also, you can do the same thing with video, and so with phones today that record video messages and things, that's a really nice way to be able to share as well. And so you can send those clips then to them, and they can see where you are and get to experience things, and that makes it kind of nice. So, you know, I mean, sure, you can do just one type of thing, but I think that if you mix things up a little bit and you've got some messenger and email and video clips and pictures, those are all really nice ways to be able to share about who you are and what you feel about somebody, and to be able to have a good relationship with them. Also, one other thing is using e-cards. I think that's kind of nice as well, and you know, e-card services are really pretty cheap, that you can get an annual subscription for it for a relatively small amount of money, and you can send nice cards to somebody too, and through email, and it's really nice, and it just bumps up the email just a little bit, and it makes it something a little bit more special. So I think that, you know, ultimately those are all great ways to be able to meet somebody and get to experience a little bit of a cyber relationship with them, even if you can't be together all the time in person, and that will tide you over in those in-between times when you're not actually able to physically see each other and be together. So I think that this is really, the internet just gives us so many different options. I mean, with being able to chat with somebody, to be able to get online or get on a cam with them, a camera, and you can see them, they can see you. You can have a conversation with each other through that cam, and that really makes it nice too. And so you don't have to be on the cell phone and spending a lot of money. I mean, that's part of the thing also with these cyber relationships, is that they really don't cost any more than just having the cost of your general internet service and maybe a subscription here and there to different types of services depending on what you want to use. So I think there's lots of different options out there, and I hope that you're able to get some of them and take advantage of them if you haven't already done so. And I wish you luck in finding a relationship with somebody that you really care about, and just remember, just open yourself up to those possibilities, and don't close it down just because they don't happen to live right there in the same place that you are. Lots of luck, and so talk to you later. Bye.